Hello everybody out there in YouTube land. I'm Michael Smell. Welcome back into the studio for another Stinky Robot live stream. And drawing tutorials, drawing examples, we're just drawing, doing all kinds of drawings around here. So welcome. Glad you guys can make it for live stream number 22. Everything should be starting to come together on this stream. I feel pretty confident about where we're going, where we're heading. So I want to say special thanks to everybody who's come before and already subscribed to the channel. If you have not, there's a button right down there. You can subscribe to this channel. We're going to be going live 5 days a week. We do a drawing start to finish. From first pencil sketch to final signature at the end. In about roughly 2 hours is what we shoot for here on this channel. But I encourage everybody to subscribe, join along, and draw with me. Expand your own horizons and better your own art in the process. So today we're going to do a little something different than we've done on this channel. It's going to be that selfless plug. So I am sponsoring myself on this channel and bringing this episode is brought to you by StinkyRobotArt.com. That is my website. We're going to jump over here and let's turn that clock off real quick. There we go, timer off. So yeah, as you see, I've added a special little thing right there on my drafting table. It's pretty nifty. That's my website, StinkyRobotArt.com. If you have any chance to check it out, I encourage everybody to go over there, see what I do on my larger body of works, not just on my sketches. And today I'm going to show you guys a quick example of what I have on the website. These are my prints. That's my phone. All right, let's turn the phone on vibrate, shall we? Let's turn that off. Yeah, so on the website I do offer these giclée prints. This is one is a piece called Migraine. I work in acrylic ink, not acrylic inks. On this channel I work in acrylic inks, but on my final work I do acrylics paint on wood panel. This is one of the examples. This one is called Migraine. Each one of the prints will come with a certificate of authenticity. So I encourage you everybody, jump over to StinkyRobotArt.com, check out my work, let me know what you think of it, leave me comments down below, and I'd love to see what you guys think of my work. Let's see here. I have lost my cursor. Magic mouse has disappeared. Alright, 1 second. Technical difficulty. There we go. There's my cursor. I'm working on a computer over there and my iPad right there, as many of you know, and when the cursor disappears to my computer, it's hard to get that sucker to come back over. So let's jump back over to the face screen real quick. Yep. So that's my selfless plug there for the beginning of this episode. I do encourage everybody to subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, let me know you found this video, let me know you're enjoying what I'm doing here on this channel. You know, it encourages me to do better, encourages me to do more of these videos. I do hope you like them. Welcome to feel free to leave comments down below. Let me know exactly what you think I could do to do better on this channel, or just let me know what you're up to. I'll be checking all the comments down below, and yeah, we're gonna just go ahead and jump in today and get started. Hey Stace, how you doing? Yeah, that's class. All right, we're gonna jump in, and now we can restart that clock for today's drawing. And the clock is not a rule, the clock is just a guide, so we know exactly where we're at time frame wise. Like I said, we try to keep it under 2 hours on this channel. That's kind of our sweet spot we aim for. Alright, let's raise my chair up a little bit here and get going. And like all drawings, I do jump in. I don't do a lot of preliminary work in the beginning. I just kind of start drawing and see where it leads us. These are conceptual drawings, and they're more exercises as well. Just exercises in hand-eye coordination and concept work, and you name it. We're just basically practicing. That's all it is, a practice session. I start off with rough shapes, and then I just start building from there. As many of you will know as you've watched my channel over the last 21 episodes, we just kind of make chicken scratches and start building. It becomes whatever it wants to become. Oh, that's rough, Stace. Get to feeling better. I know what that's like. I just got over the sniffles myself. Sounds like Porter's been sick for a while now. Tell Addie good luck on her soccer game. My son Z, he's got his first baseball practice tonight, so he's looking forward to that. Alright, we're just going to kind of build up here. Trying to decide, do I want I've got his head obviously pointing this direction, a slight down angle. Question is, which way do I turn the shoulders? Should I have him face? A lot of times I like to have the body facing the other way. It kind of gives it more of a dramatic pose. But I could also point him in the same direction. I think I'm going to go with more of a subtle. We're going to have him turn the other way. Not too dramatically. That feels about right. Looks like he's gonna have more of a square body. That's all good. Do that. Okay. Alright, we're just gonna use big old round arms, I guess. Shoulders. That back line down a little bit. We're just kind of fine-tuning our details. We got the main body of the bot, and now we know what his shape is. We got the shape down pretty quickly. Hey, Debbie T, good to see ya. I got the body in quickly. Once Now I just need to fine tune it. I want to find that one element just to make it unique. You know, the pirate one, if you haven't seen that one, I put a big Jolly Roger on the side of the head, you know. Obviously the last one turned out to be a big ram's head or a goat, ram or goat, more of a ram, I think. But I want to add character to each one of these, its own unique character. We'll figure out something unique here. But first things first, let's kind of dial in this head, and maybe we'll come up with the idea while we're doing it. Signature center line. Mopping the eyes are going to be right there. Square his head off just a little bit more on this one. Right. Play with perspective up here just a little bit. Alright, what are we going to do? We're going to figure out the neck shape. Got a real square body as of right now, which I don't mind. Alright, let's see. Let's do... Yeah, we'll fiddle with that. That's not necessarily working for me. I just kind of let it fade off. Alright, old hubcap style arms. That'll work. That will work. I'm just completely going to feather out into nothingness, so we're not going to worry too much about that detail. Alright, we're going to play with the neck real quick, build it up. We're going to let... Oh, sure, this will be... We're going to build a telescopic neck. Telescopic, there we go. Telescopic neck. Couldn't say the word. Tongue-tied myself there. But... Another layer. Oh. We need to make some adjustments to this to make this look proper. That would be... just reverse it. Perfect. Like that. Now, what are we gonna do to this guy? Yeah, let's do this. Let's take off his brain case. Maybe we can do something here. My initial idea. So we're gonna have the eyes start here. We don't want to go all the way down to the eyes. Oh, I do need to turn this up a little higher. Eyes right in that section right there. In just a moment. What do we got? Up. Off into the perspective. Now here's the question. Have it come back down? Yeah. That'll be somewhat the idea I've got. Now, you get a big old brain inside of here, or what should we do? Ah, I've got it. It just seems right. Hold on, I got an idea. Let me see if I can get this perspective done right here first, then I'll draw it a little bit darker. Okay. Change that just a little bit. I have to fiddle with my perspective here just a little bit. 1 second. That one's correct. This one's a little rough. Helped if I started with my center point first, and then I could work around the center point. Getting a little messy. We're gonna have to clean this up here, guys. We're gonna a little bit on the messy side. That is the nice thing about drawing with this style of paper. A lot more forgiving. If I was using just good old-fashioned printer paper, it would hate me erasing this much. I want to mark up, but this paper, as long as I'm really light with the erasing, does real well. But you can probably see where I'm going with this. As of right now, though, gotta get it cleaned up a little bit. That's better. Okay. And if you watched me before, you know I like to get things messy before I clean it up anyways. That's where we're heading with this. Looks a little bit messy. When we're all done, it'll look nice and clean. Okay. That's it. There's his brain. Old-fashioned hamster wheel. I think we're gonna, instead of doing the whole old-fashioned wire wheel, we're gonna attempt to make it like a colorful translucent wheel. I think that might be kind of cool. What's up, Tank? Good to see you in today. I missed you yesterday. Alright. Yep, we're gonna, so that's our goal. We're gonna go with the translucent wheel. Everybody's seen a translucent wheel, I guess. What I'm going for. Now the question, should we stick a hamster in it? To be decided. What do you think? Should I try to draw a hamster in there? And let's shift my center line a little over and make sure the perspective is correct. Like so. There we go. That's better. All right, looks like the vote is a hamster. So we're gonna throw a hamster in there as well. Right. Adding some random little details to kind of make it a little more exciting. Little number on the side of his head. Got, of course, the neck detail, but I need to come in here and add this detail work up a little bit. He's got to have a little interest. Detail work. Let's make a convincing robot. It's got to have a little bit of, you know, panels and buttons and gizmos and gadgets and all of that stuff incorporated into it if you want to make it. All right. No, a little bit. Leave it like that. Okay, we're awfully long on our sketch today, so we're going to be drawing this to a close. Again, the emphasis is on the hamster wheel, so we got to get us a little hamster in there, don't we? That boombox robot, that'd be kind of fun to do. I don't know if we're gonna have the time to develop this one into that one today. He needs to be quickly brought to a conclusion here. We got this. Okay, here we go. We need a hamster. Give me 1 second here, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to go into that magical thing we call the interweb. I just need to pull up a quick reference for hamsters, so it looks decent. 1 second here. Look up hamster running in wheel. Give me an image. Give me a picture. Something real quick. Of course, they're all side views, so yeah, let's find something that's somewhat remotely an idea of what we're trying to do. Yeah. He's a cutie. We'll go with that guy. Okay. All right, here we go. We're gonna have him basically stopped on the wheel right now, I think is the way to go with him. Nose. I'm not going to get overly detailed with the little hamster. Just need the idea of a hamster inside the wheel. Remember, it's going to be, we're going to attempt to make this translucent, so he'll look, I don't know how it's going to look. It's going to be experimental. You know, that's our favorite thing here on the channel. Everything we do on this channel, sorry, not everything we do on this channel, but everything we do in these live streams are just kind of quick concepts. Some better than others, just to get the idea across in a short amount of time. Has potential use for larger and bigger works in the future. Big old poofy face. Little works, little drawings. All right, there's our furry little hamster sitting in the wheel. We'll probably want to make little marks throughout the wheel. We can do that with pen though. I want to showcase kind of like, you know, wheels have their little, oh, what are they called? A little bit of texture in the wheel so the hamsters can run. It'll help make it look a little more realistic, but we'll add that into the pen. We go to that phase, which we're going to do right now. Get that pencil put down. And back to my live stream here. We're going to start the pen work. Now these quick drawings, you'll notice quite a bit. Perspectives are a little off. Details are a little skewed. Line work is a little shaky. But that is absolutely okay in these, what we're trying to accomplish here. These are just quick conceptual ideas. Get the idea out of our head onto paper as fast as we can. And then we move on to the next drawing. By limiting ourselves to a short time period of an hour or two. And then literally just kind of obligating ourselves at each pencil line, this is what we're going to draw. And we're going to finish the drawing all the way to the final completion. We're going to start it, the idea, we're drawing an hour or two. And if it's not working or not looking that great, like, now yesterday I had a little bit of those issues, but I think that yesterday's turned out really, really good. We're struggling through the first section part of it. Turned out awesome at the end. But we push through them because we want to get the idea out. Whether it's a good idea or a bad idea, we go through the entire motion. Develop a finished product. That is how you don't get better by, well, let's see how to word this right. Yeah. To really improve your skills, it's not like a matter of like going out and doing it once or twice. You can't play one baseball game and be ready for the pros. You're not going to pick up a skateboard and learn how to roll and go, I'm all of a sudden a pro skater. You're going to learn by falling on your ass 100 times. By getting struck out 100 times. And the same goes for drawing or art in general, no matter what it is you're trying to accomplish. You got to go through your successes and your failures hundreds, if not thousands of times. And then eventually you'll start getting better. And that's completely and absolutely what this live stream is focusing on. We're doing quick concepts, ideas, we're doing brainstorming, and we're practicing our techniques and our drawing abilities by doing lots and lots of little quick drawings, day in and day out. And I can take what I've learned from doing many of these little drawings, figuring out what ideas are working, what ideas are not working, what little techniques I tried on one little piece, and techniques that I want to improve on. Hey, I really like the way I did this element. Insert idea here. Then, when I do sit down and I develop a sketch, and what you don't see here is this is just a quick little drawing. I did it in 15 minutes or so. I knocked out this little pencil drawing, now I'm inking it in. But if I do a finalized painting, this process will take me a few days, typically. And I'll really, really get analytical and make sure every line is perfect, every perspective is dead on, every little element is exactly how I want it before I go and dedicate myself to doing a full-size painting that I'll spend just an insane amount of hours on developing. But it's all the little times that I spent an hour, 2 hours developing these little conceptual ideas that allows me the ability to create my large works. When you're sitting there drawing, like, man, I wish I was as good as this, or wish I was as good as that person or this person. What you really need to ask yourself is, what is that person putting themselves through, and how are they practicing their ability? Because I guarantee you, they all are. They've all got pages upon pages and sketchbooks filled up. And they've got multiples of drawings that didn't quite pan out the way they wanted them to. They spent years developing their craft. And I've already got several of these little guys that I want to turn into much larger works. You'll see those coming in the future. You'll start noticing me putting out videos and doing time-lapse videos of my bigger works and the things I'm creating here in the studio. And you're going to be like, oh, I recognize that. I remember when he did the smaller version of that in a live stream. I remember when he developed that idea. I know where that concept came from, because I watched his concept live streams. I mean, anyone who's just sat down and attempted to say paint, a lot of them can say they've got the same struggle. Or they wanted to paint, they bought a panel, they've got a canvas, and or something, they've got themselves some paints. And then they got a problem where they sit there, and I'm guilty of doing this myself. I am very guilty of doing this myself. Now I've got myself a canvas, or something I'm going to paint on. Got my paints. And I'm staring at a blank canvas with no idea what in the world I'm going to paint on it. That is a universal issue that everybody has when they first start out painting. Like, okay, I've got everything I need now. Got my supplies. Now what in the world am I going to do with it? Again, I'm very guilty of this myself. I'm going to change that 3 real quick. That 3 is not in the center. It is way off skew. But had they sat down, or I sat down back then and done lots of these little concept drawings, these little quickies, and when it comes time for do the painting, I can go back, look at all my reference material, see which ones I really like, which ones are a fail, which ones are successes, and I can pick out of my best ones, my best ideas, what worked the best. Then I can sit down, spend a little time reworking a sketch, redeveloping or developing a really nice piece of art, and I'm ready to paint. I'm golden. Now I have a solid concept. I have a solid idea that we know is going to look great because we've already done a smaller version of it. You will be surprised on just how much benefit you'll get out of these little drawings in the future. Okay, we're getting really close to being done with this portion of it. Yay. Then it's time for the fun part. Busting out these colors and then working on color schemes. Now here's the other side of you're sitting down watching me do these drawings and develop these sketches. You don't have to do the color. You don't have to sit there and develop them all the way to the final completion. I'm running a YouTube channel here, so I'm trying to get the absolute most I can, not only for myself, but also to make a good quality video that people are interested in watching. So it's a double-edged sword for me a little bit, is that I'm not doing just completely just conceptual ideas. And, you know, I could also keep them pretty simple thumbnails. Another thing I can go over people in the future on how to do nice thumbnails. But yeah, these don't have to be colored. They could just be pencil sketches. They don't even have to be inked. You could just sit down with a pencil and just bust out a whole bunch of drawings, all in pencil, and leave it just like that. There is no need to go all out and use the acrylic inks and do the painting. And you know, if that's not something you're interested in doing, there's absolutely no reason that you have to do it. Is it beneficial? Sure, absolutely. You can get a lot more out of it. The more detail you can put in, then the more beneficial it's going to be for you in the long run. Absolutely. But like I said, I'm running a YouTube channel where I am trying to showcase not only my abilities, but push what I can do in that time frame. So I'm trying to really, really push it. But you'll decide for yourself what you need to do to get the benefit from it that you want out of it. It's all a personal choice. You need to do a handful of pen drawings. You need to do a handful of pencil drawings, ink drawings. You know, I don't have to tell you. It all depends on what you want out of your art. Just putting these little light lines in there. I don't know how much I really want to keep them in there or not, but we'll just... It kind of helps with the hamster wheel, I think. There we go. She is all inked in. We are good to go. I'm going to do one thing real quick. I've got this picture of a hamster hanging out. I can get rid of this now and go back into my live stream and see what people are saying. Your daughter says the future of the hamster is going to take over the world, huh? Well, they're going to be in competition with the Michaels, because I've been saying for years that if I can band all the Michaels of the world together, so if you're a Michael and you're listening, I'm telling you, if we can all band together, we can rule this world. There's a lot of us. Apparently, Kate says the hamsters are taking over the world. So, someone needs to, right? Alright, guys. I can see the chats now, so if you guys want to drop some chats, I'll be able to read them again. Sorry about that. Only so much room on this little iPad to see everything I'm working on. Let's move this out of the way. We're going to do a quick little... Oh, no. Look at this. Boy, I about messed up. None of you all told me. I completely forgot to draw that shoulder in with the ink. I would have realized that mistake pretty quickly. That would have sucked. Not that there's a lot of element to it. I mean, having it just kind of feather off into the background, so it's not... There's not a lot of detail there, really. Not really. There we go. It's all just real simple, subtle. I just let it fade in the background since these are concepts. These don't have to be fully developed. So I don't overly think it. Alright, there we go. I'm gonna buff out some of that pencil mark. Because again, show up on screen, I get pretty thick with it. Plus, right. I really like this thick Canson cold press paper for that, or watercolor paper. I can get pretty heavy-handed with my pencil and still just, it erases off like it was never there. That is a really nice feature of it. And the best part about working with the water and the acrylic inks is it literally will, the water almost is a second eraser, and it strips all the graphite right off the paper. It was never there. All right, here we go. Color. I'm thinking a super simple background. We got kind of crazy with the background yesterday. Today, let's just go real simple. Pretty wet, as always. Plus, I don't want too much background up here because we go with that, trying to make that translucent hamster wheel. You don't want it to be too much. What color? Go green. Gotta keep it super subtle today. Super, super subtle. We'll keep it the light colors, like it's light green. Down. I say light green, but boy, it sure looks a lot like neon yellow, doesn't it? I always forget to make my paper towel out. Clean paper towel. Tips and tricks. The best paper towels in the world to use when you're working in any kind of paint medium. Shop towels. You can get them about anywhere. Home Depot, Walmart, Target. I think all of them sell shop towels, but the ones that are dedicated or meant to pick up like oil spills and stuff like that in your garage, yeah, they are the best. Forget using those little kitchen paper towels. Go get yourself a roll of the blue shop towels. That's what you want. There we go. Let's use a color we never use. I don't think I've ever used this on this live stream yet. Grabbed it. Give it a good shake. Olive green. Yeah, Tank, that's absolutely fine. If you want to do that, just hit me up and send me a message, and we'll talk about it. This clogged up, little stopper's clogged. I've not used this in a while. All right, we're gonna have to get it out the old-fashioned way. Boom, get out of there. There's a little eye drop squeezer. And if you don't use these inks for a while, they get clogged up. I have not actually pulled this color out in some time. It's olive green, if you're wondering what color I'm going with. It's olive. Corner there. I want this olive everywhere today, so we're going to kind of clean that up immediately. The faster I clean it up, the more it won't stay. real watery now. I'm actually using that super, super watery. Get it kind of everywhere. We're gonna let it thicken up, and I'm gonna, as it dries, I'm gonna pull it off, and it's just give it a nice little effect I like. Blend in, blob in a little bit there and here. While it's still real wet, clean it out where we don't want it. A lot of times I'll just leave it and I work it in. But I'm not sure we're gonna go with the green on the inside just yet, so. Now while that is drying, we've gone with the bright background, a little bit of the olive green over top, and just pop a little Payne's gray in there. Small little element, but it'll make a big difference in the final product. Is Payne's gray. Very, very little Payne's gray. Let's see, should I go? This. Just dropping it right where the really wet stuff is. Carefully just move it around in the really wet stuff. So we don't have black dots. It's kind of just blends in with that green that we dropped in there. Right in here. Again, all I'm doing is trying to practice a new technique. I haven't really done much. And we're going to see what the outcome looks like. In theory, it's going to look really awesome. Or I may not be able to notice much of a difference at all. But as we're practicing, we're going to try new things. All right. Mute you real quick so I can turn on the blow dryer. Yeah, that's not too bad. A little more subtle than I like it, so I think we're gonna just for giggles, we're gonna throw a little more splatter on this, and then we call it good. A little lighter than I like it. Never know until you actually blow dry it what it's gonna finally look like. So we're gonna add one more layer of this green, which, man, I just gotta get some of this ink out. Need to clean out the eyedropper. Note to self, when this is all over, I gotta have to go through all my tubes, make sure all my eyedroppers are good and cleaned out before I go live on live stream. A little bit of Slowly. Payne's gray. There we go. That's what I like. That's what I like. Got that beautiful thumb. Nice and black. Now you know you're making some art. If you're filthy, you know you're accomplished. Yeah. Well, some of that from here, but the problem with that Payne's gray is it dries almost instantly when I splatter it in there. Yeah, speaking of a ink thumb here, if you like what I'm doing, hit that thumbs up down below. Costs you nothing, but it means the world to me, and it helps out with that algorithm. So if you like what I'm doing, or you like watching this video, or even if you gave me a few seconds of a chance, hit that thumbs up. Let me know you liked it. Even better if you subscribed. Trying to build this community. We're so close to 100 subscribers. I can't wait till I get there. It'll be a celebration, and I'll do something special as soon as we get there. We're so close. The first 100. I'm excited. All right, here we go. We're gonna go in now to the robot. You will definitely need some of this green into him, so we'll just start with that. I don't always do it, but a lot of times it looks really nice if you do add some of that background and color back into the robot. It's almost like a reflection. It's kind of nice. Be subtle with it. Maybe I will if it ever shows up. There we go. For this color, we're not going to worry too much about falling in the shadows. We're just going to be a little bit more randomized with it. Let's just put a little bit in the shadows, and I'll put a little bit in the the highlighted areas, just because. Probably more so on the highlighted than not. Yeah, these will help kind of accentuate the highlights when it comes back. Oh, when I add the white at the end and we bring everything out. A little subtlety of that bright background color just makes it look amazing. Okay. Gotta decide if I want to keep that same color or not. There we go. Takes just a second and adds a lot of depth and element to it. Worth it. I think we're probably going to go a different color on this whole neck. I'm assuming. Hold me to it. Hold me to nothing on these because everything is subject to change as we go. Stay loose, stay quick, but let the piece determine your direction as you work. Okay. Where does the hamster poop go? That's what the kiddos want to know, huh? Well, I'm going to assume that's what fuels him. He burns it off for his energy. He runs on poop coal. How old are you kiddos, Tank and Kate? I already had my kids asking me when they hit summer break, Dad, can we be on your YouTube channel? Can we join some live streams? It won't happen every day, but I think a few times we're gonna let them jump in and have fun with it. I know they'd like to be on here every day, but at the age they are, They may not always be able to keep focus. But they're going to have a blast doing it. They did a real good job over spring break. They came in and they worked. It was really good. They got to do their own little reveal at the end. And they just thought that was the coolest thing. Immediately went downstairs and watched it on the TV to see themselves on TV. I mean, how cool would that have been when we were kids, or at least when I was a kid? How cool would that have been? I mean, we had our little voice recorders, and we'd pretend to be doing radio shows and whatnot, and that was a lot of fun. We'd play radio, record our own little radio stations, and play them back like we were actually on the radio. But to do it today and actually be able to jump on a YouTube channel and do YouTube and then run downstairs and instantly see yourself on the TV? How cool would that be? Be able to tell your friends like, hey, I'm on TV, you should go check it out. A different world. Every time I look outside, it's a completely different world. All right. Oh, very good. 13 and 16, huh? (13, 16, and 11). Well, you're in a lot of fun ages there. My kids are sitting at, one's almost 10 and one just turned 11. I was super excited last Christmas. My son's number one and only one he wanted this year, this number one thing he wanted this Christmas this year, was a drafting table. That's awesome. You had anything but drafting table is what you want? So we definitely had to make that happen for him this year. My daughter and my son both have their own drafting table, their own setup in their rooms. I got the next generation of artists coming up. Pretty proud about that. You heard me say that word a lot when I talk about my kids. Proud. One proud papa. They don't always make me proud. Sometimes I want to strangle them, but I love them. They make me prouder than not. My son's 9 years old, almost 10. He'll be 10 this summer. The school is doing a thing, which I never did when I was a kid. Well, they did, but they didn't. He's going to be running a 5K. He wants to join a running thing at school, and they're running a 5K in like April. He has to practice for 4 weeks after school to run a 5K. 3.2 miles. Now, I was a cross-country runner. That's what I did. I was really considered myself a pretty good cross-country runner back in the day. But I would never imagine running a 5K at that age. But he really wants to do it, so absolutely, I'm going to encourage it. That's a long run for a little one. Now, ask me if I could run it today with him? No. Who knows? Maybe I should start. Maybe I should start running more with him. That probably wouldn't hurt me, would it? Whereas now when I mix that blue and yellow background, really it's supposed to be green, but I'm calling that neon. That's more neon yellow than anything else. And it makes a pretty awesome green, a real nice light green. That works out pretty. All right, so first time here, it is. This is where I start getting muddy, guys. And you start wondering, what is this guy doing? He's just blotching color in there. So hang tight, wait to the end. We always get muddy before we clean it up and make it look good. I'm still working with the same color blues right now. Clean this up in a minute. It'll look real good. Or so the theory goes. Typically, more than not, it works out. More than it doesn't. Okay. Come back around these eyes a little bit and work on green in there. Okay. We'll bring a bit of this blue into the neck. Even though I'm going to go, this neck will be a lot darker. See pretty soon. We're probably going to go with more of a black neck. But we're going to use blue as a base, so we're going to go ahead and build the blue up here just as we would, but a lot thicker. Just kind of leaving the highlighted areas white, the like brightest of highlights. Because we're going to switch over here to the indigo, then we're going to go into panes, and we're going to really darken this neck up, make it by a lot. So when you really start diving into color, work light to dark. There's many different methods you can look into and research on how to do color, especially when you're painting and using acrylics or oils or whatever medium watercolors that you're going to be using. But a really good rule of thumb is you're typically going to look lighter to darker and then bring out your highlights and shadows. When I work on my acrylic base, and this is acrylic inks, but when I work on my acrylics, I will be working I typically start with what's called midtone. I'll work midtones first, and then I'll start branching out from my midtones into my more defined colors, followed up by highlights and shadows at the end. I typically figure I'm working between 3 to 5 layers on my big work. Let's leave the eyes for now. I'm not sure what color we're going to go the eyes just yet. We'll figure that out in a minute. Okay, so now we're going to call this basically our midtone. So what we worked on this robot so far, we have our midtone palettes out. That's as far as we've gotten. Now we're going to start darkening it on layer 2, which is going to be our gray, our indigo, and our Payne's gray. These are going to be our layer 2 solution, our layer 2 colors. So let's start off with our indigo, darken up some of our darks. Actually, take it back. The Payne's gray is going to be the next third layer. But indigo and gray. Now we're going to darken our shadows and then bring the gray into this. Start cleaning up our robot. And as you may have noticed, it's starting to really darken that neck up. Like I said, it's going to be an illusion that it's black, but it's not actually going to. Just going to kind of, when we're all done, it'll appear to be like a darker blackish tone. But we won't use a drop of black on the entire piece today, I don't think. Never say never. Here in a second, I could be like, you know what? We need a little black right there. But black is the one color we try to be very minimal using. We're on time. Hour 17? That's not too bad. That's not too bad. If I was on the first week of live streams, I'd be stressing right now and freaking out trying to finish it. Initially, I tried to do these in an hour, which we were successful for a bit. We were running an hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes over on occasion. But I just felt like they were lacking in the detail a little too much. So I was racing, and I didn't want to feel like I was racing for each live stream. So we pulled them back, gave myself another hour on the clock. And that's just allowed us to be more more experimental, which is exactly the point of these. Open it up for experimentation. We could push it a little bit further, get a little more into the detail work, not overly stress over time period. Let me know in the comments. Do you think that was a good plan or a bad plan, or how's that working out for you? Yeah, Procreate is a great program for that. You say your 16-year-old's working on his own comic. Yeah, I use Procreate quite a bit myself too. Anymore, a lot of the things I will develop. Some of my paintings get developed in Procreate. Become a bit of a game changer for me, sure. But there's still that certain tactile you lose going from actually working on paper and working in iPad. It allows me to work quicker. I leave my little logo design there. That was just a quick little Procreate sketch I did just to get this off the ground. Probably redo that logo pretty soon, but yeah, it does allow you to work in layers quickly, which is really nice. Because I've always worked in layers, but I would develop my pencil sketch, and then I put a translucent layer over, and or go with the light table over there, and I build the next layer. And I used to work on the light table a lot. Now I hardly ever use the thing because I've got Procreate, and I can also now just sit in front of the TV and draw a lot easier than, I also have less excuses. I can just grab my iPad, sit down in front of the TV and work. But again, it's a beautiful demon. Yeah, it can be a bit tricky. Now, Procreate's a great thing, though. It's a good tool to have in the arsenal. I'm glad to have it. I use it a lot. I'm probably done. I haven't mastered it. That's by any stretch of the imagination. There's so much of. I just kind of use it to get a quick idea, a quick sketch, because then I transfer to board, and I'm still gonna paint. So I'm not doing full digital work, so I don't fully develop it in Procreate. But I develop a lot of it in Procreate. I'll get my outline drawing, is what I call it. I get that done in Procreate, then I move it over. But yeah, it'd be really cool if he gets done the comic book. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it. Alright, so now I'm being a little more subtle. You'll see I'm just kind of darkening my highlights right now with that indigo. Just kind of coming around at certain areas and not everywhere, just where the shadow needs pushed a little bit. And we're just pushing it. Allow ourselves to stay nice and loose. Don't overwork it, don't underwork it. Just kind of moving ink around in some areas that need some more shadow. Yeah, watching the time while you're working is exactly why I've got that clock right up there, because I lose track of time real easy when I'm drawing. I don't know how many times I've gotten caught up in a drawing, and next thing I realize, I get a phone call from the school like, "You're gonna pick your kids up today?" I'm like, "Oh no!" And I run out the door. Which almost happened to me yesterday. Or I just completely, lose track. I sit down for I think I've been drawing for an hour or two. Next thing I realize, I've been in the studio all day long. So yeah, having that clock right there at a quick glance so I can make sure I'm trying to stay somewhat on schedule with these. I think right now we're pushing it pretty close. But developing the robot is the hardest part of the whole thing. We're just about there. Just about got him all developed. I'm gonna add a few more little spots here. I'm not gonna go too crazy, just gonna darken up our highlights or shadow lines in a few little locations. And we can move on. Okay. Yep. Just quick check. Check. Areas that I need to develop that I didn't develop. Simple. Let's not overwork it. We gotta move on. Now we're gonna go in here with that gray and turn him into a robot. Now he's all just kind of reflection, shadow. Then we gotta get that hamster cage going. See how that's gonna turn out. Our big wild card, right? That's kind of the defining element today that makes him unique. So. This gray, we're just going to kind of rub it in there, mix it in the areas we got some color. We're varying our tones. We'll go some areas that are just really light gray, almost non-existent. Do that by wetting down our brush quite a bit. Very little ink on it. In other areas we'll go with heavier ink set, less water, and that'll give us some variations in our grays, make it look more realistic. Sometimes easier said than done. It's fighting me here. I don't have enough gray out. Let's get a little bit more going. Trying to work a little bit quicker right now. I got a lot I want to get done, and we're running a little short on time, so we're gonna We're going to remind ourselves we're just doing a concept drawing. I'm going to start speeding it up a little bit. It is hardest part about this all, for the most part, and this is definitely true for me, and I'm not sure if it is for you or not. Let me know if you're struggling with it like I am. But that's time management. That's getting ourselves to where we need this drawing to be in a allotted amount of time. Really want to start getting caught up in detail sometimes. Really start diving in, and I overwork some areas, which is fine. I gotta be very careful that I don't just get swept up in the idea of detail work. Gotta start thinking about how many layers I've got to do and how much time I've got left to do it. The whole keep it simple, stupid. All right, that's a good old-fashioned muddy mess. I like it. That's, know you're doing good when it looks muddy. Okay, now let's bring that out and then move on. We want to go real quick. Bring just a little more of this blue into that. Go. That white. Anybody else out there ready for lunch? My stomach's growling. I'm hungry. All right, so and let's start scrubbing in this white, leaving in some of that color, and it's just toning down the muddiness some. Some areas will get really thick with the white. Make sure it has a nice, beautiful pop of color, or lack thereof, I should say, of color. Between the gray and then the white over top, it'll really just mute that bright blue and those yellows we did in the very beginning. It'll mute those down real nice, and they will become more like subtle reflection on the steel rather than just like Picasso splattered all over his face. There we go. Hopefully on camera it turns out nice, but you can kind of see what a difference now in this face versus like right here. See how like muddy that is and how clean that now looks. We're gonna leave the shadow fairly muddy. It's still gonna come back in and add a little bit of Payne's gray, but we're gonna bring up just along the outside a little bit. Nice clean white edge. And here we're gonna do just a little bit of white. Wow, that makes me jealous. You got Godfathers for lunch? Man, I think I've just got some turkey meat in the fridge. I'm gonna make myself a... I'm on a trying to pull back on the carbs a little bit so I don't even get bread. Got an avocado for lunch. See, I've got avocado, cherry tomatoes, and a handful of lunch meat. Raw. That's my lunch. Trying to get myself ready for bikini season so I fit into my skimpies. Ready for the pool and embarrass my kids. Or I'd rather just not have a gut hanging over my swimsuit. That always helps too. So I'm back in the gym, back on the diet, trying to pretend like I'm 20 all over again. So my lunches are not as yummy as I wish they were. Yeah, I'm just kind of pulling between the colors and muting it down. It looks great. Looks great. Just a little bit of white. Blend it all in. Sometimes the more scratchy you are, like I just did right here, actually the better it looks. I'm on my bike, Stacy. Come on now. I'm on it. We got it on the bike trainer. We've been doing bike rides, family bike rides. What about you, sis? You been out there riding your bike? Been putting in the miles, or you just still staying at home with sick babies all day? All right. We're not going to go crazy on it because we are running short on time. So this is where we're going to pull it back. Add a little bit of highlight right here, and then we're going to go back into the Payne's gray, start knocking that out. myself a stretch here. Cramped. Great. Not sure who I was talking to the other day. I was talking to, maybe it was Dub T or Tank. I'm not sure who I was talking about, but brushes coming apart. Talking about what kind of brushes I use and which we hate when the brushes the metal part starts breaking off. Looks like that's happening to this one right here. So, you know what? We're gonna do a quick fix on it because it just happens every once in a while. I don't know why it happens. No one ever does, but your brushes, this metal part right here, whenever it's focus, that part just gets really wiggly and wants to come off. So just a little tip. If it hasn't come off completely before, you can tell when it starts to get loose and you're like, ah, it's gonna come off. If it comes off, I typically glue it, then I do this. But if it's just loose, take a pair of pliers and give it a little bit of a, right there on the edge. Just give it a little bit of crimp. Don't go too hard. You don't want to, you'll hear the wood crunching just a little bit. You don't want to squeeze too hard, but now that thing is solid. And she's not coming off. Just a little tip if you ever struggle with that happening to your brushes. You can catch it before it gets too bad. You can just give it a little crimp and you're good to go. Kind of like I said, if it comes off, then you gotta glue it, then do the crimp. Try to catch it early, get it fixed. Okay. One more element of darkening. Again, to get a really good look, work in layers. Don't try to accomplish everything in one shot. Work in layers. Light to dark. As soon as you think you've gone as dark as you want to, then you can add a slightly darker color. Like those other two colored blues, that indigo and that, whichever bright blue I used. What is it? Turquoise. The turquoise blue. Letting those shine through will give me depth. Then I'll actually work to the darkest color, like so. There. Build a little bit of interest and texture, just like so. Black. Right there inside of his armpit a little bit, and right here along that edge. So sometimes I'll just go with a more watered down variety. So it's nice and I don't want it to be too dark. I just want it to kind of that. Then sorry, I'm mumbling here. Yeah, I'm basically just kind of keeping it not full strength. I'm watering it down so it's kind of a lighter color. I don't want it to be pure dark. I want to kind of feather it in over top the other shades. That'll give it a much more realistic feel if I do that. Now in the areas I want it to be pure dark, then yeah, I'll go 100% ink on those areas. But we don't want that with all of them. We're going to leave this one today more painterly. I'm not going to go back over and think and do the outlining with the ink or the pen. I might, we'll see. Or at the end, well, let's let the final decision at the very end. But looking that way, one, I got time restraints and I'm going a bit over. And two, it's not always necessary. Sometimes just leaving it be the way it is enough. It can be an added element that's not fully necessary. We'll make that call at the very end. Okay. Hamster time. We are going to try to do a translucent hamster wheel. Boy, that sounds really easy. I'm gonna go with my, oh no. I just feel like it needs to be a red wheel. We got so much blue and so much green on here, it probably needs to go red. So what we're gonna end up doing is we're gonna be using a combination of scarlet and then a light yellow, which is gonna be our brilliant yellow, and then our dark purple, and of course white, and then some Payne's gray. The rest of these colors, we're gonna get them, move them out of our way here. Now, and we're, yep. No idea how that's gonna work out. Let's go. Start off. Little red, little yellow. We're gonna make it more yellow than red. Scarlet out here. Throw some yellow out here. And fair warning, we're probably going a little over time today. But that's fine. I'm not gonna lose any sleep over it. Now, it's gonna turn out a lot more orange. That's just fine. Wanna work lighter to darker. Again, we're going to say somewhat. I have to figure out how I'm going to do the hamster, because hamster's still going to have to be. You know what? He's going to get. Okay. Now this will be a red wheel. It just looks yellow for right now. Nice and watery, fill that in. Now, a little more red in some areas. Mainly around the hamster. We're going to work it real slow. Take our time. Don't want to overdo it too quick. Now where we overlap, right in here, we're going to want that to be the darkest stuff. Fade up to light. overlap area, same here. This is where the robot meets the wheel. That we're going to want to darken up as well. And with this little color here that comes through it all. Going to be light and darkened up. So. We also got to keep in mind lights and shadows in here, so we're going to try to keep the darker areas more dark, shadow, and then the highlights. Some of these. Okay. Now this is where we're just going to kind of work it. We don't want to go too red, too quick. We're just kind of just sketching it in there from light to dark. Darkest areas are going to be the most shadowed areas in here. We'll start with going the reddest, but we're going to add some purple here in a second, and we're going to make it even darker. So. We're going to make him probably more orangish color, not really a bright red. He's going to be more orange. We're going to save the brightest red for like overlap areas. Come in here with him, and we're gonna do some painting on the hamster in the oranges and reds. Gonna make him look fuzzy and furry. Don't want to make him look red. That's the tricky part. Don't turn him red. Gonna lightly pattern him in here. Like that. This purple. Purple. Purple and the scarlet and kind of make a nice deep maroonish color. And go into those shadows first. Let's work that out. deepest purple. Ooh. Too red. Tone that down a little bit. Add a little water. Give it a slight bit of racing. Beautiful. That's our little guy. Now we don't want to overwork him here, so let's. He needs to be very subtle and overwork him. But he needs highlights in his eyes. Now we need some highlights here on the hamster wheel. You got a few little areas where the light catches it. Like so. Let's see. Thanks, Tank. I'm going to say that looks like a little transparent wheel. I think that looks okay. A few more little white highlights here and there. And let's just make his eye color match. With more yellow in the beginning. And we're gonna need some of this. Red up here. Purple. More purple. Right. Yellow highlights here. I'm just kind of speeding through it right now, guys. We're gonna just tapping up the final little details here and there. Finding all those little sections that need just a tap of this, a tap of that. We're just doing the fine tuning. Because we're at 2 hours right now and we are on the very final home stretch. Got a few things left to do. Ran a little on the long side on this one, but as anyone who knows who watches my streams, going long is just kind of what I do. It's so easy to get caught up in these drawings. It really is. But I probably will still do a little bit of an outline. I'm not going to go crazy. I love to do the cross hatching and stuff, but you just gotta pull back. Okay, so here, I'm gonna add a little yellow. And we'll go. I think I got some green still out, do I? Yeah. Green. Oh, please be wet. Nope, not wet. Splash of this indigo on the green. With some tone. A little bit. So. So close to being done. Right on top of it. Okay, we're gonna grab the pen and do an outline. We're gonna color in this number 3. That will do it. Start off here. We're just gonna follow the outline lines. Not every line on the robot. It's literally just the ones that are on the very outside edges. Those are the lines that are gonna give us the most amount of pop for our money. Bang for our buck. We're gonna find any and all outside edges and give us an outline. So that's an outside edge. That is not an outside edge. That's an outside edge. That's an outside edge. Okay. Lines on the hamster there. These eyes here, these are the outside edges. Like that. Use my big head, I'm just kind of jumping in here. Hopefully I'm not showing my thinning spot on the top there, but we're just gonna dig in there and get it. Sometimes it's easier for these old eyes to get really close to the bit. Sure. I'm trying to stick my big old head in there, but it gets there. Right here. There, that's pretty much all my outside edges. Fair enough, that's it. Just kind of help clean it up a little bit. And we're gonna sign it. All right. Once over, is there any place I missed? What do you think? See anywhere I missed? I think we're good to go. I might come right down here just a little broken line down there. Just gonna help add that. Hamster wheel. Let's peel and reveal. We have drawn us a hamster bot, a little hamster wheel. Maybe he's on lunch break. I know I just about am. Okay, we're stuck. There we go. little ghost image. Sometimes that graphite gets rubbed against that tape and can make a little bit of a ghost image, but we can just a little scrub near the outside edge, get rid of that, just feather in. No problem. Okay. A little cleanup real quick here, guys. And make sure my hair looks good for the camera. Gotta look my best here. Let's go split screen. But yep, there it is, guys. That is it. We're finished up. Got a little hamster bot today. Got a little hamster in his wheel, so hamster brain, or what should we call this piece? Anybody got any ideas for a title? But no, that's it. I'm pretty happy with it. Turned out awesome. Another drawing on the books. This is live stream number 22. We're really starting to get our wind here. The wind in our sails. We're moving right along. I like it. Hopefully you like it. You seem to be enjoying it. I got quite a few people returning every single day. That is awesome. Hopefully we can get that community to grow a little bit. So if you're interested in watching more live streams, hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that bell notification so you know when I go live. And definitely that thumbs up. You know, help me out with those algorithms. Let's get my name pushed out a little bit further. I would greatly appreciate it. And by all means, next time, grab a piece of paper and a pencil. Join me. Let's see what you can come up with. Guys, thanks so much. I appreciate everyone for showing up. Another good live stream down the books. You're awesome. We will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.